Good evening and welcome to the BFI London Film Festival. I'm Trisha Tuttle, I'm the director of the festival, and what an absolute pleasure it is to introduce tonight's screening of Spencer. It's a film that really knocked us out when we saw it this summer. It sort of cast a spell on us, is the right phrase to use. It's beautifully written by Stephen Knight and directed by Pablo Larraín, who big up for Pablo and Steve. Such a talented duo, and Pablo was last appeared in the festival with 2019's Emma, so great to have him back. And you know, as with all of his work, this is such a precise and spellcasting, and also a film in which he once again finds the perfect form to tell this very story. At the heart of the film is an incredible performance from Kristen Stewart, which I can't wait for you guys to see. I want to say a massive thanks to STX for allowing us to host the UK premiere, and I've got some special guests to introduce to you tonight. Please welcome producers Paul Webster, Jonas Dornbach, and Janine Jakowski. Writer Stephen Knight. Also, home crowd for Stephen. And our lead, Kristen Stewart. Such an absolute pleasure to welcome you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Stephen, I want to start with you and talk about what was it about Diana's story and also this very precise window into her life that sort of fascinated you?
The reason I wanted to do it is because when Diana's funeral happened, I was working in Canada at the time, and I was watching TV and saw gates open and saw the funeral cortege appear and saw English people behaving not like English people or British people, screaming and wailing, and there was a real deep emotion, and I'd like to think of myself as a student of Englishness, and this was very weird and very different, and I thought, why am I crying? You know, it's so strange, and that stuck with me, that what did Diana do in this, an English woman in an English environment that made this happen. And so that's what made me want to do it. And then I thought, I can't do a biopic, so I wanted to look through a keyhole in a very small space and try and tell the whole story in a very small, controlled environment of a terrible family Christmas that we've all lived through.
Absolutely. And one for the producers, and happy for anyone to take it, but can you talk about Pablo, why was he the right filmmaker to tell this story?
Well, it was Pablo's idea to make a film, and so that's a good start. We've been talking for years, he and his brother Juan, who's his producer, who's deeply missed, as is Pablo, unfortunately not here to be with us tonight. I shall refrain from saying why, but we've been through that, so we know. So, to have such a precise outsider's eye view on a quintessentially British situation was, I think, the way forward to tell this story. And it's really broken my heart that he's not here, you know? It really is, because this is the homecoming for the film, you know? He said this is the screening, he wanted to come here. This is the one where we bring the movie home, and here we are without him. But never mind, the film is testament to his grace and his power, so very happy.
The film is absolutely gorgeous, and you know, it is a massive hole in everyone's heart that he's not here. And he's such a gifted filmmaker, and I can't wait for people to see the work. Kristen, I know you and Pablo, it looks like you had an incredibly trusted relationship. What did Pablo say to you? What did the team say to you that made you want to take on this story?
I mean, being from the States and being 7 years old when she passed away, upon reflection, I think that I always thought that she seemed really like a nice person, that everyone was very upset that we lost too early, and that I remember the flowers outside of Buckingham Palace, but that it really was Pablo's kind of visceral and like palpable love and protection that came through my telephone. He was so confidently assured that I should be the one to help him make this, and so it was just so attractive. I couldn't really say no. But yeah, I think there are certain people that come along that just stick out to here and are undeniable. The fact that she found herself in an environment that was so starkly in contrast to who she was only amplified that, and actually, ironically, gave her the stage to connect as she did. Obviously, to her detriment, but then ultimately, like, not. So yeah, Pablo's just somebody who has this like audacious, insane confidence in his own vision, and it's really hard to not believe in him. And then through him yourself, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we really came at this with like such love, and it kind of, this experience opened my heart in a way that was stymieing, and I am not going to be able to say anything about the movie or Pablo or anything that the movie doesn't say better. So all I will say is, like, watch with an open heart. I would, you know, that's all her. Everything trickles from the top and kind of goes Diana, Pablo, and then all of us. So
That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you.